Have you ever thought about what you'd do if, right this moment, you felt a tight squeeze in your chest? Not just heartburn, not just stress, but a deep, crushing pressure, like someone's sitting on your chest and you can't breathe right. You're alone, no one's around, your phone is across the room, and suddenly your left arm goes numb. Your jaw starts to ache. Panic sets in. What now? Do you freeze? Do you try to walk it off? Do you pray it's just anxiety? Or do you know exactly what to do? Because here's the scary truth. You might only have 10 seconds. 10 seconds to decide whether you fight or fade away. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but heart attacks don't always announce themselves with sirens and flashing lights. Sometimes they show up in silence, in the middle of your quiet morning coffee, in the shower, on your porch, or while watching the news. And for millions of people each year, that quiet moment becomes the last one. Simply because they didn't know what to do. But what if you could change that? What if there was something simple, something you could do right there on the spot that could buy you the precious time you need to stay conscious, to stay alive, until help arrives? In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you should do in those first 10 seconds of a heart attack, especially if you're alone. Not theories, not rumors, just the facts that could save your life. You'll learn how to spot the warning signs before it's too late, what works and what doesn't, and one surprisingly powerful technique that most people have never even heard of, but should. So don't click away. Don't tell yourself you're fine, because when it comes to your heart, ignorance isn't peace, it's danger. And look, I'm not just talking to the seniors here. This matters whether you're 70, 50, or even 30. Heart attacks don't care how young you feel or how busy you are. They show up when you least expect them. So let's be ready together. Comment, "I'm prepared" below if you want to take control of your health starting today. And if you care about real, honest health guidance that can actually make a difference, go ahead and subscribe to Life Stamina, because your life, your strength, and your peace of mind are worth every second. Let's dive in. Let's begin with the first and most critical thing, recognizing the warning signs instantly. Because the truth is, most people never realize they're having a heart attack until it's too late. Picture this, you're sitting on your couch, maybe watching a movie, maybe just scrolling through your phone. Everything feels normal. Then out of nowhere, there's a strange heaviness in your chest. Not sharp, not stabbing, more like a tight belt being pulled around your chest. You shift your weight, thinking maybe you sat wrong. Then your left arm starts to tingle. You feel a bit queasy. Maybe you're just tired, you think. But deep down, something feels off. That's how it often starts. Quiet, unassuming, easy to dismiss. See, heart attacks rarely begin with someone clutching their chest and collapsing like in the movies. They creep in. Sometimes it's pressure in the chest, sometimes it's pain in the jaw, sometimes it's nausea, lightheadedness, or cold sweats that feel like anxiety. And because the symptoms are subtle, many people, especially older adults, dismiss them. They brush it off as indigestion, stress, fatigue. But that delay, that's the real killer. So here's what I need you to remember. If you feel sudden pressure, pain spreading to your left side, unexplained sweating, dizziness, or shortness of breath, don't guess. Don't wait. Assume it's a heart attack, because acting fast can save your heart and your life. Now that you know what to look for, let's move on to something that could keep you conscious during those first few critical moments, especially if you're alone. Point 2. The 10-second self-rescue technique. There's a story that sticks with me. A man in his early 60s was heading to check his mailbox one afternoon. Nothing out of the ordinary. But halfway there, he suddenly felt dizzy. His chest tightened. He knew something wasn't right. Alone, scared, and too far from help, he remembered something he'd once seen in a health video. He started breathing deeply, then coughing hard, like clearing his throat, every 2 seconds. And you know what? It bought him just enough time to stay alert and call for help before he collapsed. This method, it's called cough CPR. Here's how it works. You take a deep breath, then cough forcefully. Deep breath, cough. Deep breath, cough. Every 2 seconds. The idea is this: the deep breaths keep oxygen moving. The cough helps squeeze the heart, keeping your blood pumping just enough to maintain brain function if your heart is in a specific rhythm disturbance like ventricular fibrillation. But let's be clear, This is not a cure. It's not meant for full cardiac arrest, and it doesn't work if the arteries are completely blocked. It's not for everyone, and it won't work in every scenario. But if you're alone and feeling faint, and you do feel like you're about to lose consciousness, trying this technique while calling for help could buy you the time you need. But remember, the most important thing is not the coughing, it's the calling. Point 3. Always call before anything else. I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your very first move in a suspected heart attack should be to call for help. Don't tough it out. Don't think, let me just lie down for a minute. Don't try to drive yourself to the hospital. Let me tell you about Eleanor. 72 years old, she was feeling tightness in her chest and tingling in her arm, but she didn't want to bother anyone, so she waited. By the time her daughter came home and found her, it was too late. Here's what you need to do differently. Call 911 immediately. Even as you're doing the cough breathing technique, you should be on the phone or using a medical alert device. Paramedics can begin life-saving treatment the moment they arrive. They carry medications, oxygen, even portable defibrillators. And here's something simple but powerful. Keep your phone nearby, especially if you live alone. Put it on the nightstand. Keep it in your pocket. Program emergency numbers into speed dial. If needed, write down your address in big letters and stick it to the fridge or near the door, so responders can find you easily. Every second counts. And the sooner help is on the way, the higher your chance of survival. But even after you've called for help, your body still needs you to act wisely. Point 4. Sit down, stay calm, and loosen your clothes. Frank had a heart attack at a grocery store. He felt dizzy, panicked, and rushed outside thinking he needed air. But the moment he stepped out, he collapsed. You see, panic can make a bad situation worse. When you panic, your heart races. Your oxygen needs go up. Your blood pressure skyrockets. That's the opposite of what your heart needs during an attack. So here's what to do. Sit down, preferably in a sturdy chair with a backrest. Don't lie down unless you absolutely have to. Loosen your clothes, tie, collar, belt, anything tight around your neck or waist. Breathe slowly, calmly. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Tell yourself, I've done what I need to do. Help is coming. I'm safe for now. That calmness helps your heart conserve energy. It gives you the best chance to stay conscious until help arrives. So don't try to stand, don't move around, don't push through it. Just sit, breathe, stay still. Let your body focus on surviving. And finally, there's one more step that could give you a fighting chance. Point 5. Keep aspirin handy. John was in his early 70s. After a warning from his doctor, he started keeping a tiny bottle of baby aspirin in his wallet. One day, that decision saved his life. When he began feeling chest pain while walking his dog, he immediately chewed an aspirin tablet. By the time paramedics arrived, his heart was still damaged, but not destroyed. Here's why this works. Aspirin thins the blood. It slows clot formation, which is often the very cause of a heart attack. It doesn't reverse the blockage. It doesn't replace emergency care, but it can limit the damage while you wait. Here's how to do it right. Take 181 milligrams baby aspirin and chew it slowly. Don't swallow it whole. Chewing helps it absorb faster. But, and this is important, only take aspirin if you're not allergic and you're not already on blood thinners unless advised by your doctor. Make it easy. Keep a pack in your purse, your car, your wallet, your nightstand, and make sure your loved ones know this tip too. It's a simple habit, but it could mean the difference between life and loss. Pause, breathe. You've just learned 5 things that most people don't find out until it's too late. But we're not done yet. Next, let's talk about what all this means for you and for the people you love. Let's talk about the heart behind all of this. Because facts save lives, but compassion sustains them. Heart attacks don't just strike strangers. They strike the people we love. They strike our fathers, who never complain because they don't want to worry anyone. They strike our mothers, who ignore their pain because they're too busy taking care of everyone else. They strike our neighbors, our friends, and yes, they strike us too. And when they do, every second becomes sacred. Every breath becomes borrowed time. That's why this matters. This isn't just a medical conversation, it's a life conversation. Because behind every set of symptoms is a real person, with dreams, memories, grandchildren, Sunday dinners, and unfinished plans. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to think, how will I remember all this, or what if I freeze? But let me tell you something, you don't have to live in fear. You can live prepared. You can live empowered. Not paranoid, not anxious, just ready. Because when you know what to do, you shift from helpless to helpful, from panicked to proactive, from unsure to strong. And that strength, it can make all the difference. So tonight, after this video, do something small but meaningful. Talk to someone you care about. Ask your parents if they know the signs. Place that bottle of baby aspirin where it's easy to grab. Write your emergency contact info and post it near your fridge. Put your doctor's number in your speed dial. These aren't dramatic things, but they are life-saving things. You don't need to be a doctor to protect a life. You just need awareness, compassion, and the courage to act when it counts. And I want you to know this. Even if you've made mistakes in the past, even if you ignored symptoms or delayed help before, what matters most is what you choose to do now. Because today, you've learned, you've listened, you've equipped yourself with knowledge that most people won't take the time to learn until it's too late. So take a deep breath, look around, life is still here, and you're still here. And that means hope is still here too. You have what it takes, you have the awareness, you have the tools, and now you have the power to save a life. Maybe even your own. So stay informed, stay strong, and remember, you're never too old, too late, or too unprepared to start protecting what matters most. Let's move forward with love, with action, and with a heart that's ready. Let's take a moment to bring it all together, because these aren't just tips, they're tools for survival. So here's your simple but powerful recap. First, recognize the signs: chest pressure, pain in your jaw or arm, shortness of breath, cold sweat. Don't second-guess them. Your body speaks, you have to listen. Second, call for help. Even before you do anything else, reach for that phone. Emergency responders are trained to act fast and save lives. Third, stay calm and sit upright. Don't try to push through. Don't lie down unless you faint. Just breathe slowly and keep your heart steady. Fourth, if you're alone and feel faint, try the breathing cough technique. Deep breath, cough. Deep breath, cough. Every 2 seconds. It might help buy you time, but remember, it's not a cure, just a possible bridge to safety. Fifth, if it's safe for you, chew a baby aspirin. Not a full tablet, not swallowed whole. Chew. Let it get to work while help is on the way. These aren't myths. They're real, evidence-backed responses, and in the right moment, they can change everything. Now I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you love ever experienced heart attack symptoms? How did you handle it? What was that moment like? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one because your experiences don't just teach, they connect. They remind others they're not alone. And if this video gave you even a little more clarity, a little more confidence, a little more peace of mind, give it a like. It tells me to keep making this kind of content, the kind that saves lives. And hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to Life Stamina. Here we're building something real. A space for people who care about health, about family, about making the most of every breath we've been given. We're not here for hype, we're here for heart, for stamina, for strength, for life. So thank you truly for spending these minutes with me. Your time means something. And if even one person walks away from this video knowing how to act when it matters most, then it's been worth it. Until next time, stay alert, stay calm, and remember, knowledge is your first line of defense. I'm your narrator's name, and from all of us here at Life Stamina, take care of your heart, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.